Okay, so you're gonna wet your peel board, make sure that it's completely wet, and the plotter already cut out the film. So as you can see how there's more space, more dead space right here compared to here. So you want the dead space to be on the bottom. So with your right hand, rotate it like this and put it on your glass, like that, and you're just gonna unroll it that way. Just like that, okay? You keep your other hand at the bottom so the film doesn't telescope and get out of control. Then you're gonna get your blade and you're gonna do a tight trim around the entire perimeter, all right? There. And when you're using your blade, you want to make sure that your blade is about 2 to 3 lines out. Lines meaning you see little lines inside here, because the longer you have your blade, the less control you have, and the shorter you have, you're not going to be able to apply enough pressure. All right, now the excess goes in the trash. No scraps on the floor, because they are a hazard. In the trash. Then you're going to flick with your thumb here, thumbs behind, thumbs like this, take it up to the sky, and then you're going to stand in the center of the back window, center of your target, and just place it on the back window and just wiggle it around to match the dot matrix or the border, whatever you're working with. Then you're going to place your hand in the center. Then you're going to get your half moon and tack 6 to 8 inches in the middle. So now the film's locked in place and it's not going to move anywhere. Stand right here, you look at the back window, and you can see that the bend is right about here. So that's where you want to get your tension. We're going to create our industry standard H. All right, so with your thumb and index, you just want light tension like that. You can see the size of the fingers, they're getting significantly smaller. So thumb, index, pull, and then you're going to stretch the film or feed the film towards this direction, like this with your hand. So when you're doing this with your hand, you don't want your hand like this. You want it like this so that you make a wider center tack point, all right? Like that. Place it, hold it there with my index, and you're going to come across it with your half moon all the way across. Here, you don't want a big tack right here, because the most curved part of the back windows are the corners, and if you lock yourself out right here, you're more likely to burn the film, okay? So straight down like this, and angle your tool just like that. Same thing going up, okay? Same tension on this side. Thumb, index, stretch, feed it in here, hold it, come across. Repeat everything going down, okay? The back window is wet, so you want to get your towel and just dry it off. Go in a downward direction. Top section, go up. That. I'm just going to draw right here. Made my standard H. And these are our fingers. We call them fingers because they look like fingers. We're always going to start on the outside of the finger and working our way towards the more flatter surface of the back window, which is the center. So, get the heat gun, float it, getting some air. What floating does, it allows air to flow where the film's going to be heating, and it gets close to the glass, so the closer the film is to the glass, the more heat it can take. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to work like a typewriter. Here, go across, lift up, come back, and do it all till this is flat, all right? And again, when you're working with the heat gun, you want to keep it straight on. You don't want to tilt it like this because you can burn customers' paint right here, all right? So let's go. And notice how high I'm keeping the heat gun. I'm pretty far away and still doing its job. So the closer you get with the heat gun, you got to move pretty quick. Okay, so just like that. Give it a good, nice push. When you're using this tool, you want to make sure that you're putting leverage with your thumb so it applies equal pressure across this ridge right here. All right, let's continue to heat. Okay, pushing. Also, what I'm looking for, again, I'm looking for the film to go in a zigzag pattern, and the film is going to talk to you. So once you see it like this, like we did the back door, continue to heat shrink. in a different section, because if you heat shrink an area like this, you're going to burn the film. Okay? Good to push. Oh. Okay. Now the last 2 inches, I like to do swirls. So it gets air underneath the film. And I'll just lay down and create a lot better seal. Just like that. Notice I'm getting super close, so I gotta move quick. And you notice on the corner right here, it's kind of tight. So if you see that, I'm good to push up until here. Good to push. If you see that it's really tight, open up your fingers and then just spread them out. You're evenly distributing the film across here so that it can take more heat. And then top 2 inches swirls. And then I'm good to push. And then everything I did to this side, repeat on the other side. So after you heat shrink the window, you want to release the perimeter. So same thing like we did on the door. Just pull away from your cut lines. There. There. Then you're going to go on the inside. You're going to use a couple different tools. You're going to use your scrubber. I attached a tri-edge scrub pad. This one's just a little bit more aggressive. I want to make sure I get a lot of the dirt and debris out. Bulldozer and Titan tool. All right, so you're going to wet your back window. You have to take into consideration when you're doing back windows, if it's a European car, there's a lot of sensors back there, so open up the trunk and look for any type of fuse panels. Open up the panel and jam towels in there, because if you look, the back window, the water has nowhere to go but down. So you want to protect your customers' investments. You don't want to fry any electronics or anything like that. And then also a trick that I like to do when I'm doing back windows or front windshields, I like to have a separate sprayer tank or a spray bottle that has double or even quadruple soap, because when you have more soap, it's literally the film's going to slide in and a lot easier, which you're going to use less water. All right, so now just spray the back window, get your scrub pad, and you're going to go up and down and then left to right. You want to make sure you're scrubbing this entire back window. Okay, then you're going to lightly mist it again, just like that. And you're going to squeegee edge to edge with your big squeegee. Blue Max, I'm using a sledgehammer by Gasket Pro Tools. And we just want to squeegee edge to edge. Okay, obviously this tool can't get down here like that. So get your bulldozer. When you're using your bulldozer, make sure that the blade is up and that this is wet. If not, it's going to sound like this. Okay, always wet it. And I'm just going to squeegee edge to edge. All right, done. Then I'm going to flush like a U. I'm going to spray like a U symbol. Like that. Okay. Lightly wet the top, not too much up here. Okay. Then I'm going to go on the outside. Okay, you're doing this to control static, so because I'm literally going to peel this completely off, and you need that so the film has weight, so while you're pulling, it's just going to fall right off easier. When you're pulling this clear, do not pull up like this, because you can take the film with it. Always pull down like this. Okay, so as I'm pulling down, I'm wetting. Okay, and remember, this goes in the trash. All right, you don't want any dry spots on this back window. You want it completely wet. Rinse your fingertips really, really good, because I'm going to touch the film. I'm going to just touch in an inconspicuous spot where a customer is never going to see. Just like that, flick it. I'm going to lift up and fold right in the middle. Just like this. All right. And then I'm just going to come underneath and grab it. I'm touching the non-adhesive side so I can touch it all I want. Now, my left hand right here is the bottom. Okay, so if you don't get this twisted around, the left hand is going to be on the bottom. So just walk in. Okay, so you want to bring the film back in here, and you just want to rest it on the rear deck right here. You want to make sure that the film is not touching any of this deck right here, all right? I'm going to wet it again because it looks like it's drying up. And then you can see that this side, the left side, is on the top. So that's what I'm going to pull first. When I'm pulling, I'm going to pull right in the middle right here. And I'm going to scoot this over because these headrests are in the way. If you're working on a car and the headrests are removable, take them out, okay? Here, and then with my right hand, I'm just going to hold it in place and I'm going to pull with my left hand. Like a newspaper, okay? Just like that. I'm still holding with my left hand, and now I'm going to pull with my right hand. Okay? Now, everything's flat. I'm going to, like Superman, I'm going to fly and come underneath and put it all against the glass. This is where the extra soap comes in. Okay? Just put everything all against the glass. Make sure that it's flat. And just slide it into place. Put this all against the glass. Everything's all flat at the bottom, so slide it in. Put in a puzzle together. There we go. Okay. Notice that the tint didn't touch anything else. Film has memory, so you want to get a good stretch in the middle so that you don't have fingers in weird areas. All right? Okay. So I'm going to get a good stretch. Right hand here, left hand here. I'm going to just stretch the film. Remember my big center tack in the middle? That's what I'm trying to recreate. Then I'm going to get my big squeegee from the center. I'm going to go up, to the right, up, to the left, up, and then repeat everything going down. So center, right, left, and then here. I'm going to work from the center and working my way to the left. The last 2 inches, I'm going to squeegee up. Right, to the right, same thing. Some glasses, like a Toyota Camry, it's super curved right here, so you might not be able to go up because of the angle. So just go with the glass, all right? All this, push straight down. Repeat everything on the other side. Then you're gonna get your bulldozer again. I'm gonna work from the center out. You wanna make sure that you put a lot of pressure with the other hand. So like this, look, it's flexing a lot, okay? So that's the objective. Because you need to extract a ton of water out, especially behind the brake light. And then push straight down the rest of the way. After you do your first squeegee, you want to wet the outside. You need to see what you're doing, okay? Gotta see what you're doing. So the red Titan tool, this similar to the bulldozer, you need to get it wet. And this is to get on the lower section to squeegee out all that moisture. So when you're using this, you want to start from the center and you want to twist your wrist towards the glass like this. So just like that, your finger on this ridge and twist. So your right hand is going to work on the right side, left hand is going to work on the left side. Wipe it off and this job's done. And that is how you do a back window.